Hello, everyone. Welcome to Where Are They Now Wednesday, where we review and enjoy the accomplishments of Missouri high school athletic talent as they compete on the national stage of the NCAA. This is Kent Mueller of Playing on Sports. Our regular listeners might be wondering where Guy Newcomb is right now. Guy couldn't be with us today, but he will be back next week for episode number 49. A reminder that you are watching the original Where Are They Now Wednesday. Don't be fooled by Johnny Come Latelys or some other imposter. Playing on Sports and Missouri Sports Network are your sources for what Missouri high school talent does when they get to the national stage of the NCAA. No one has more information for you than we do. We really appreciate your attention and loyalty. Would you do us a big favor? Please pass this on to your friends. Hit the like button, hit the notification button, and send us any comment you may have because we really appreciate you. Are you ready? Good, because we have done your homework for you. A lot has happened since last week. A lot of recognition for seasons well played. I'm talking about the announcement of all conference teams and various Players of the Year honors. They have just started to be announced, and those honors will continue to roll out for a while. We are gathering those that have been earned by Missouri athletes, and we are looking at their seasons to see and appreciate why they have been deemed to be the cream of their conference. These are all athletes who earned similar honors when they were in high school, but now 1, 2, or maybe 5 years later, they are repeating those honors on a regional and national scale. And we're going to start with Isaac Haney. He's a senior guard out of Kickapoo High playing Division I basketball at Austin Peay University in the Atlantic Sun Conference. Isaac was placed on the Atlantic Sun Conference third team. Isaac was the Governor's third leading scorer this year with 13.2 points per game. In his 2 years with Austin Peay, he scored 638 points and pulled down 199 rebounds. The Governors ended their season in the second round of the ASUN Conference tournament, a loss to number 2 seeded North Alabama. In his final game, Isaac scored 8 points and got 5 rebounds. Tate McCubbin is a freshman guard. He is out of Battle High, and he's playing his Division I basketball also at Austin Peay University in the Atlantic Sun Conference. Not only was Tate placed on the Atlantic Sun Conference all-freshman team, he was named the conference's Freshman of the Year. He had an impressive first year of college ball. He played in all 31 games and started 22. He scored 10.6 points per game while he was pulling down 4.7 rebounds. Tate made 17 assists, got 42 steals, and blocked 12 shots. His high for the season was 38 points. That came against Eastern Kentucky, when he dropped in 13 of 23 from the field, including 9 of 15 from beyond the arc. That was one of 5 times the freshman out of Battle High scored 20 or more points. I think we will be seeing more of production like that in the future, and because he will be battle tested as he goes into his sophomore season next year. Ryan Kalkbrenner is a senior center out of Trinity Catholic playing Division I basketball at Creighton University in the Big East tournament. Ryan was placed on the Big East Conference first team. There's a good chance that the conference honors are not over for Ryan. Later today, the Big East Conference will name their Players of the Year. Let's look at some history. Last year, the Big East Conference named Ryan as its Defensive Player of the Year for the third time. The Missouri product is already in rare company. Only 2 other players have been the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East Conference 3 times, Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning. And if Ryan makes it a 4-peat later today, then Alonzo Mourning falls to the side for Ryan and Patrick Ewing to be the only 2 in Big East Conference history to achieve that rare feat. The Blue Jays finished their regular season on Saturday with a win against Butler. Creighton finished with an overall record of 22 wins and 9 losses. In the conference, they were 15-2. In that win over the Butler Bulldogs on Saturday, Ryan scored 27 on the strength of 13 for 17 shooting from the floor. And if the 7'1" center had not shot a three ball in that game, he would have been 13 of 14. He was also game high with his 15 rebounds. And that shooting from the field is quite typical for Ryan. He is shooting .663 from the field this year. But that isn't very different from his entire career in Omaha. Going back from this year, he has shot .646, .695, .646, and .645 from the floor. This year, Ryan is fourth in the nation in field goal shooting. Next up for Ryan and his Blue Jays, they will play either DePaul or Georgetown in the Big East quarterfinals this Thursday in New York. You have heard me discuss the migration of Missouri-raised and honed basketball talent from Northwest Missouri State northward to Drake University. Did they make a splash? Well, it was more like a tidal wave. Few earned either an all-conference honor or a Player of the Year honor. Even fewer earned two of those awards. How about three? How about four of those awards in 1 year? Bingo. Now we're talking, and we're talking about Bennett Sturtz, a junior guard out of Liberty High playing Division I basketball at Drake University in the Missouri Valley Conference. Having just arrived at the Division I level in Des Moines from Division II in Maryville, Bennett has been named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Newcomer team and as its Newcomer of the Year. But that only includes those new to the conference. Let's take that out to include every player in the conference. Bennett was also named to the Missouri Valley Conference first team and was honored as the conference's Player of the Year. Why all of that attention? He led the conference in scoring with 19.1 points per game. He was third in field goal percentage with 493. And don't try fouling him before he can shoot. He hit .795 from the line. Is he just a shooter? No. His 5.7 assists per game is second in the conference, and his 2.9 assists to turnover ratio is number one. Does he rest on defense? No. He leads the Missouri Valley with 2.2 steals per game. Does he ever rest? Well, not when in uniform. No one is on the court more than Bennett. 39.4 minutes per game. Those minutes per game is the best in all of Division I. And those numbers for points, assists, and steals are all easily in the top 40 nationally. Also at Drake is Daniel Abreu. He's a graduate student forward out of Willard High. Daniel's been named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Defensive Team. He isn't just known for his defense. Daniel is the second leading scorer for the Bulldogs with 10.4 points per game, and he is another guy you can't foul with his .798 free throw shooting. 30-3 Drake won the Missouri Valley postseason tournament on Sunday and now await the brackets to discover their next opponent. And staying in the Missouri Valley Conference, but moving on up to the University of Evansville, we find Connor Turnbull. He's a junior forward out of Fort Zumwalt North. He's playing for the Purple Aces of Evansville. Connor is also a multiple award winner. He was not only placed on the conference's all-defensive team, he was also named the Missouri Valley Conference Defensive MVP. Connor doesn't just work the defensive end of the court. He averages over 9 points per game. He does that by shooting over 53% from the field and over 70% from the line. Part of Connor's defensive prowess comes from his 61 block shots, the second most in the Missouri Valley Conference. Evansville closed out their season on Sunday with a loss to Murray State. And right next to the Missouri Valley Conference, we find the Ohio Valley Conference. And in the Ohio Valley Conference, we find more Missouri athletes flexing their basketball talents. Rob Martin is a junior guard out of Christian Brothers who is playing at Southeast Missouri State University. Rob earned Ohio Valley Conference first team honors. He did that by leading SEMO in scoring with 14.5 points per game and shooting over 41% from three-point land and over 83% from the free throw line. Rob dished out 142 assists with only 52 turnovers. That is an assist to turnover ratio in excess of 2.7 to 1. And there's Brian Taylor II. He's a junior guard out of DeSmet. He is playing at Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. Brian was named to the Ohio Valley Conference second team. He was the team's second leading scorer with 12 per game. He also contributed 97 assists and 28 steals. The Cougars will advance to March Madness due to their 21-point win over SEMO in the Ohio Valley Conference Championship game on Saturday. And we continue to look into the Ohio Valley Conference, and we find another Missouri athlete double-dipping in the postseason awards. Jadis Jones is a freshman guard out of New Madrid County Central. He's playing at Lindenwood University. Jadis not only was named to the Ohio Valley Conference second team, he was honored as the conference's Freshman of the Year. Jadis got his collegiate career started by averaging 12.5 points and 5.8 rebounds per game. He also got 48 steals and shot over 55% from the floor. Lindenwood's season came to a close last Thursday with a 14-point loss to Tennessee State. We now move to the Southland Conference in Division II. There we find Gary Clark. He's a senior forward out of Cardinal Ritter playing at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Gary was named to the Southland Conference first team. The 20-14 Islanders were led by Gary with his 14.9 points per game, which was also the fourth best in the conference. He also pulled down 261 rebounds, an average of 7.7 per contest, which was number one in the Southland Conference. Gary's scoring was helped by his 54.9% shooting from the floor, the second best in the Southland. That was a season of work that clearly placed him on the first team. The Islanders lost on Monday to Northwestern State in the Southland Conference tournament. Now let's go way out to the West Coast. The West Coast Conference, to be exact. There we find Javon Porter. He's a junior forward out of Father Tolton Catholic, playing at Loyola Marymount University. Javon was honorable mention on the West Coast Conference honor list. He averaged over 12 points per game while pulling down a team-leading 7.2 rebounds. He also led the Lions with 35 blocks. Loyola Marymount finished their season with 17 wins and 15 losses, with their loss to Washington State on Saturday in the West Coast Conference tournament. Looking back into Division II, we find Sean Williams. He's a graduate student guard out of Hazelwood Central. He is playing now at Washita Baptist University in the Great American Conference. Sean was named Great American Conference first team. He scored at an 18.2 points per game clip, which was the fifth most in the Great American Conference. Not only did Sean make the most three-pointers in the conference, he had the fourth best three-point shooting percentage. Most 43% three-point shooters can't do that when shooting as much as Sean has. As Sean can, and he did. Washita finished with 22 wins and 8 losses overall and 16-6 in the conference. Their season came to a close on Saturday with a conference semifinal loss to Harding University. Staying in Division II and staying south of Missouri, we find the Lone Star Conference. Specifically, we find Caden Evans, who's a graduate student guard out of Oak Park. He is playing at Angelo State University. Caden was awarded honorable mention by the Lone Star Conference. He averaged 9.2 points and 4.0 rebounds per contest. The former Northlander also made 2.1 steals per game, the second most in the Lone Star Conference. Angelo State finished their season 17-2 with a first-round loss to top-seeded Dallas Baptist. There are 2 Missouri men who were honored by being placed on the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Association second team. They are Braden Shorter, a sophomore guard out of Kickapoo, playing at Washburn University, and Avery Taggart, a graduate student guard out of Eureka, playing at Pittsburgh State University. Braden was named to the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association's second team. He led the Ichabods in scoring at 15.8 per game. Washburn is 26-3 after being upset in the conference quarterfinals by the University of Central Oklahoma. However, they will still move on to the Division II Central Regional quarterfinals on Saturday. They will be hosting Harding University. Avery Taggart was named to the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association second team. He was the second leading scorer for Pittsburgh State. He contributed 14.7 points per game. He also averaged 4.7 boards per game, and he had the second most assists with 94, and had an assist to turnover ratio that was just under 2. The Gorillas finished the season at 18-12 after falling to the University of Central Oklahoma in the conference semifinals. The College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin honored one Missouri men's basketball player in the postseason. That was Harrison Williamson. He's a senior forward out of Priory. He's playing his Division III basketball at Illinois Wesleyan University. He was named to the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin second team. Harrison averaged just under 10 points per game and pulled down 5.2 rebounds per contest. The 24-5 Titans won the conference championship with a win over number 23 Carthage College. Illinois Wesleyan is making a postseason run with NCAA tournament wins over Bethany Lutheran and St. John's of Minnesota. Harrison came up big in that last game with a team-leading 17 points. That win puts Illinois Wesleyan and Harrison Williamson into the Division III Sweet 16, where they will take on number 5 ranked Wisconsin Lacrosse on Friday evening. There are 5 Missourians who came up big in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, each receiving postseason awards. They are Matt Enright. He's a junior guard at Webster Groves at the University of Missouri in St. Louis. And Alex Benassi. He's a junior guard at Lee Summit playing at Missouri S&T. Andrew Young is a junior forward out of Marquette, also playing at Missouri S&T. Jordan Germain is a graduate student out of Ray Peck in Kansas City, and he's playing his college ball at William Jewell College. Kobe Williams is a sophomore guard out of Westminster Christian Academy, and he is playing at Truman State University. Matt Enright was named to the Great Lakes Valley Conference first team. He led the Tritons with 16.4 points per game, 7th most in the conference. He made 43.7% of the 206 shots he took from beyond the arc, along with 88.5% of his free throws. That was the second best in the conference in both of those shooting categories, and his 37.1 minutes of court time each game is the second most in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. The Tritons are 19-5 overall and 15-5 in conference play. Their next game is in Springfield, Illinois, against number 5 ranked Ferris State in the Division II Midwest Regional Tournament. Alex Benassi was named to the Great Lakes Valley Conference All-Defensive Team. He contributes much more than superlative defense, where he made 37 steals so far this year. Alex is another player you don't want to foul. He has made over 81% of his free throws. He has 85 assists, which is more than a 3-to-1 ratio with turnovers, which is the best in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Missouri S&T will take their number 12 ranking to Springfield, Illinois this weekend, where they will take on Malone University in the Division II Midwest Regional Tournament. Andrew Young was named to the Great Lakes Valley Conference first team. He leads the Miners with 16.6 points per game, the 6th most in the conference. His 7.6 boards per game is the 4th most, and the junior ranks 3rd in the Great Lakes Valley Conference with his .564 shooting from the field. Andrew ranks 2nd in the conference with his 1.8 blocks per game. Andrew will be on the bus with teammate Alex Benassi when they head east to play Malone University in the Division II Midwest Regional Tournament on Saturday. Jordan Germain was named to the Great Lakes Valley Conference first team. William Jewell's season is over, and the Cardinals finished with 12 wins and 16 losses overall and a 9-11 conference record. Jordan was the key player for William Jewell this season as he poured in 21.3 points per game. That was the second most in the conference this year. He was on the conference court more than 39 minutes per game, and he also recorded almost 5 rebounds per game, along with 70 assists and 25 steals. Kobe Williams was named to the Great Lakes Valley Conference second team. As a sophomore, Kobe led the Bulldogs with 14.5 points per game. He did that by shooting .486 from the floor and .848 from the free throw line. He also pulled down 5.2 rebounds per outing. Already as a sophomore, Kobe has proven himself to be an all-around player as his points per game, rebounds per game, field goal percentage, and his free throw percentage are all in the top 19 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. And he has 2 more years to go. Now let's switch gears a bit before we finish up with episode number 48. 2 weeks ago, Playing on Sports and Missouri Sports Network started Missouri Milestones. Missouri Milestones are all-time lists of career stats for Missouri high school athletes. We have started with 2 lists. There are 1,000-point career scores for both boys and girls basketball. We are searching for any Missouri high school graduate who scored 1,000 points while attending a Missouri high school. There are other lists out there, most with 10, 20, maybe more, but we want even more than they have. We want them all. It is a big achievement by the student, and we will memorialize that feat for all time. We already have almost 1,400 on the 2 lists. There are entries from way back in the 1950s, and there are those who are still piling up numbers while they're in high school. We have 1 sophomore this year who is already on the 1,000-point career scoring list. Where can you find these lists? Right now, the best way for you to do that is to go to my X account. You will find me on X at playing_sports. PLAYING_sports. Then just look for a post with a Missouri Milestones logo. I post updates on a regular basis. And how can you help? You can help a lot. If you know of someone we haven't found yet, please let us know. All you have to do is email me at playingonsports@gmail.com. What information do we need? Not much. Just send us the student's first and last name, the high school, the graduation year, the total career points. That's all we need, and just email that to me, Kent Mueller, at playingonsports@gmail.com, and check out the list where you can find me on X at playing_sports. Well, that's it for now from the Missouri Sports Network studios. Don't miss us next week when we will be back with episode 49. So until then, so long. Thank you for being with us here today.